The slow, ragged breathing made the woman's heart stop for a moment. She turned her head slowly toward the bushes, rain dripping down her face, mingling with the tears of pure terror that she didn't even realize she was shedding. Everything inside her screamed to run, but her feet were rooted to the ground, paralyzed by fear. The breathing grew louder, closer. The sound of dry leaves crunching beneath the soaked ground reached her ears. Each step filled with a palpable malevolence. She couldn't see him, but she knew he was there, waiting for the right moment to strike. The woman stepped back, stumbling over her own feet, not daring to take her eyes off the place where the sound was coming from. When she took her third step back, a cold, firm hand grabbed her arm. She screamed, spinning around violently to free herself, but stopped when she saw who had grabbed her. It was the old woman from the house. "You shouldn't have left my door," the old lady said, her voice now low, carrying something far more sinister. The old woman's eyes, once merely stern, now held something else, something dark, inhuman. The candle she held flickered for a moment before going out, leaving them both enveloped in darkness. "Why did you close the door?" the woman asked, her voice trembling. "He's out there! He's going to kill me!" The old woman gave a twisted smile, revealing teeth far sharper than any human should have. "He? Oh, girl, you haven't figured it out yet?" Suddenly, a chill ran down the woman's spine. The darkness around her seemed to close in, swallowing what little remained of her sanity. She glanced back toward the place where the breathing had come from, and an overwhelming terror consumed her. The creature was there, emerging from the shadows with a grotesque grin on its face. But now, beside him, there was more. The old woman was joining him, her face contorting into something monstrous. Her eyes glowed with the same madness as his, and the woman finally understood. They were in this together. He wasn't a stranger. They were accomplices. Predators. "You walked into the wrong place, dear," the old woman said, advancing slowly. "Here, he does the hunting, and I prepare the feast." The woman screamed again, a desperate, piercing cry, but now there was no hope, no salvation. The creature lunged, its claws ready, and the woman ran. But where? Away from the house? Back to the empty street, not knowing where the creature might appear next? She had no choice, and her body moved on instinct. The rain lashed at her face, blinding her, while her feet, raw and bloody, barely kept up with the frantic pace of her escape. But it wouldn't matter. She knew it wouldn't. A violent blow to her back sent her crashing to the ground with force, and before she could turn, she felt the claws sinking into her flesh once more. The creature was on top of her, its crushing weight pinning her against the cold, muddy ground. Its hot, foul breath enveloped her neck, and its vacant, lunatic eyes stared at her, filled with cruel pleasure. She fought, trying to free herself from its suffocating grip, but it was useless. Despair took over as the claws began to tear deep slowly. Every movement was deliberately painful, as if it were prolonging her suffering on purpose, savoring each second. The last sound she heard was the low, macabre laughter of the old woman, now transformed into a grotesque creature, watching the scene with delight. And then the world went completely dark. The sound of the rain faded into the distance, the thunder rumbled like whispers far away, and the cold of the night mingled with the warmth of her spilled blood. When silence finally fell, the street was empty again. Only the rain remained, washing away the blood that mixed with the asphalt, as the shadows swallowed the trace of a life lost. The house, once seemingly a refuge, was now just another shadow among many. And the creatures, satisfied, retreated into the darkness, patiently awaiting their next victim.